Welcome in, guys. We are
Good
back.
evening.
Good evening. Today is a more serious and somber because we're covering
Is it
a
though?
shake. No, 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 no. It doesn't have to be.
I said a hip hop,
A
a
hippity
hibbit,
hop and up, a
hip,
hip
hop,
hip
up,
hop. What
don't
is it?
stop, rock it to the bang bang. Boogie up jumps the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity. I am Austin,
I am Josiah.
and we are the
Super Cinema
Super
Brothers with the Super Cinema Brothers right here.
Cinema
Super Cinema
Cinemas.
Brothers with the Super Cinema Brothers. We're up in this couch and in
Bro.
the pool room behind the
All right.
scenes. All right.
We are up on YouTube. We are streaming live. I'm just gonna send this link to somebody real quick so they can come and join in if they so choose.
Yeah,
All right.
we'd be happy to
Do
have
that
them.
real quick.
Happy to have all of you
All
guys
right.
show on up. Thank you once again for
Here we go.
all for your guys' support. We do this for the fun of it and for engaging with you guys.
This is true.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
For the love of the
I
game,
got
brother. For the love of the
I got
game.
money laundering reasons for doing this, but we don't need to get into that.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
You know? I got debts.
If you guys want to know how to do that, though, no, I'm just we will be the Super Launder Brothers. No, I'm joking.
I mean,
Mhm.
go ahead and like and subscribe, join. That'll be
Mhm.
a private video.
Mhm. Yep.
That'll be a
Not even just Patreon.
moment.
It's gonna be even more private than that.
That that'll
We
be a
gotta.
super fan only
Yep.
video.
Hmm.
All right, all right. What do we have on the docket tonight, Josiah?
Guys, we've got this little here old movie that is potentially primed to sweep everything. Well, a good number of things at the Oscars. Not that we care about it. Not that we care. Not that no one cares. No. I personally use it to the Oscars and all that stuff to bring attention to cool movies. This movie was brought to my attention through nominations and stuff. I've heard people talk good things about it. But Hamnet. Hamnet is the name of the film. Right up here. Got Jesse Buckley, Paul Mescal, a Chloe Zhao directed. Is it what does it? What does it say? Directed by? Directed by?
Produced by
Super small. Hamnet. Keep
household names all.
keep
I mean,
your
I don't even know
heart.
why we need to say this to you guys.
That's a spoiler right there, man. Second spoiler right there. It says Hamnet. Keep your heart open. Oh, come on, man. Why do you gotta? Why
That,
do they gotta share all that?
that's on the poster, so it's fair game.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Well. Wow. Only
All right.
theaters this Thanksgiving. I'm just reading that for right now. Yeah, we are. We are. I knew we were late to this. I didn't realize it came out like that far back. But maybe all you guys have checked it out. Anyways, we just
Yeah,
watched it this past week.
a lot of Oscar bait comes out around like November time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For sure.
So, anyways, first things first. I want to say, listen. We know the elephant in the room is, does this movie prove that Chloe Zhao was the reason why Eternals didn't do well? I
Oh,
don't think it exactly
same
was.
person.
She is the one that directed Eternals. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, you know what? We may revisit it one day, possibly. This movie may wind up shining a more positive light on the Eternals. We might wind up hearing everybody start to say, "Oh wow, Eternals was actually a deeper film than I realized." Possibly, potentially. I don't want to say things, put things in people's mouths. I don't
I never
remember
watched
enough.
Eternals.
Oh, okay, yeah. I don't
Never
remember
saw
enough
it.
about it. I remember. I'm trying to remember. I was like reflecting. It's like, was I? I think I was okay on the film. I don't think I was like, this is terrible. This is amazing. Yeah, I think it was okay. But, anyways, long story short, Marvel, you guys then bungled it up. They claim they let her do her thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna say writing, and yeah, story, and they wind up doing a lot towards movie success, as it turns out. At least the quality of a film, as it turns out. Anyways, yeah. So now we got Hamnet. which is based on a 2020 book by, I'm forgetting the name of the author. We can check that out later if you guys are so interested, or you could just look it up for yourself. That is also connected to the big one, the big one that everybody in acting in Hollywood and English classes and all that stuff always talk about, Mr. Shakespeare. So yeah, the movie starts off saying that Hamnet is what Hamlet was also called in the, like, what was it, 16th, 17th century or something like that.
Okay, so before we get into spoilers, um, let's give our. You want to give your drive-by review? What do you call it? Your speed run?
Speed run.
Yeah,
You know.
drive-by and a hybrid movie review.
You know what?
From 30.
I know I've caused this to be out of order for things, but that's all right.
Oh,
I think the
actually,
first thing is I'll read the
you want to read the
description.
summary?
Yeah, I'll read our Overlord summary.
Yeah, and I did edit this one, so.
Oh, perfect. I'll just read it straight through then. Hamnet is set in Stratford, England, and follows the relationship between Anne Hathaway and William Shakespeare. From their initial meeting in the forest near their home to their hasty marriage, Anne, who has learned herbal lore and possesses an intuitive connection to nature, sees great potential in William's future when she reads his palm, foretelling success and children. As William pursues his theatrical ambitions in London, while Anne remains in Stratford raising their children, the family navigate the challenges of separation with William's intermittent return home, creating a life split between his growing career in the theater and his responsibilities as a husband and father. The close knit children grow up in their father's absence, sharing a special bond between them. The film explores themes of grief, artistic creation, and the tension between personal ambition and family obligations. As the story examines the distance, both physical and emotional, that can develop in a marriage when one partner pursues their dreams while the other maintains the home, it delves into questions about how artists transform personal experience into art and whether great work can emerge from profound loss. The narrative asks what price is paid when talent requires absence, and how families reconcile the gaps left by those who must leave to fulfill their potential. Through the lens of the Shakespeare family, the film ultimately examines the relationship between life and art, asking how we honor those we've lost and whether creative expression can serve as both tribute and healing. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Um,
All right.
hmm.
So let's jump into the speed run. You go ahead and first. I'll
Now
go.
that we're on the other side of that whole description, I should have said this up front. For me, going into this not knowing anything, maybe seeing clips here or there of the trailer, I think was the most satisfying experience. Sadly enough, if I had if I had heard that summary, I think I still would have enjoyed the journey, but it wouldn't have been as unknown, I guess, of a journey. Anyways, I will get to my speed run right now. Hamnet, the latest film by director Chloe Zhao. She's one of two that co-wrote this film as well. Apologize for not remembering the name of her co-writer, but you can find that out online super easily. This film,
William Shakespeare.
the third of the writers in this film. Yeah, actually, Chloe and her writing partner steal the source material from Sir Bill Shakespeare. No, anyways, yeah. So, anyways, this film is an adaptation of a 2020 book that itself is like a remix adaptation of great William Shakespeare Hamlet's writing. It stars Jesse Buckley and Paul Mescal. Doesn't run too long ultimately, but I gotta say, this one was also cinema. Yeah, very much worth watching. I'm sure it'll be dropping onto streaming soon. I think if you want to try and catch it in theaters, it's like barely in the theaters at the moment. There's possibly one screening every day, maybe at like the biggest theater around you. That said, if you're catching this well after the fact, and you know you're somebody that has some level of interest in Shakespeare's writing, some level of interest in honestly just storytelling in general, I would give this one a shot. I think it's very well acted. It does not necessarily surprise. It won't surprise you in every way. Uh, no story is going to do that at this point in time, but it is a well executed journey. The characters feel like they're well thought out. There's layers and depth to them. The supporting characters do nothing beyond elevate the realism and drama of the conflict within the main characters of the film. Um, yeah, like I said, best going into this one not knowing too many details. Just allow yourself to check it out, and if it's for you, you'll probably know that in the first 20 minutes. If it's not for you, you'll probably know that in the first 10 minutes or something. But anyways, yeah, Hamnet. It's getting attention for a reason. And yeah, if you want to check out the rest of our more thorough discussion on this film, pop on over to our full video. Thanks, guys. Catch you later.
All right. See, this is kind of a BTS, given that it's a live stream. This is going to be cut into a smaller segment and made a
Into a
reel.
small. What
All
is
right.
up, Genobi 21?
Shinobi.
121. Yeah, you
Shinobi. Hang
definitely
on.
should catch this one. I think it's actually dropping. I think it was like March 6th or something on one of the streaming platforms. I want to say.
Shinobi.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, Austin.
All right.
You hit it.
All right. I got 4 words. Or actually 5 words, because the first word is the name of the movie. Hamnet. Worst sci-fi comedy ever. Ever. There's not a single spaceship in this movie, not a single extraterrestrial. There was no teleportations. There was no Stargate. There was no Chris Tucker making witty banter with Jackie Chan. Um, I don't know what film I was watching. I came for a fantasy sci-fi comedy, and I got a bunch of Shakespeare. I mean, talk about false advertising. I mean, that is not what the trailer set me up for, and I'm still livid about it. I'm hurt. Um, I'm healing, but I'm at a loss. I don't know what else to say. Um, you come for a sci-fi comedy, you expect to see a sci-fi comedy, and anyway, back to you, Josiah.
Hamnet, more like fishnet. Jeez.
Yeah, Hamnet, more like whatever. Just back to you.
All right. All right.
All right, listen. Um, oh boy, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually really like the music. The score was really good.
Oh yes. Oh
The
man.
cinematography was quite good.
Man. Yeah. Yeah.
So like we are now again. I said this about the Knives Out movie with
Okay.
respect to cinematography, but we
Mhm.
really are in the age of like super wide aspect ratio, high definition, ultra high definition uh, cinematography, and it
Mhm.
shows in movies like this.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
And I'm all, and I love to see it.
Yeah.
Just I mean. just the greens in this movie,
Ooh,
the
man.
forest.
Dude,
It
that first
was
shot. Yeah, that first shot looking
yeah,
up into the tree was gorgeous.
yeah.
Um,
Um,
it was
yeah, just a lot
amazing
of
location choice as well because like there weren't so many leaves that it just kind of like made a blotchy sort of dark mess. Like there was enough leaves for coverage, but then few enough leaves so that the light could kind of glow through them as well. Like it was, yeah, it
yeah.
was a really nice shot.
Just kind of had some of the same notes that that Rental Family had in a
Mm-hmm.
couple of its scenes,
Mm-hmm.
as far as like the nature photography,
Yeah.
the nature cinematography. So yeah, I enjoyed that. They picked some really key locales. And, but we'll go into some of the specifics of that a little bit in the spoilers because I don't want to like
Mhm.
give it away right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, beautiful cinematography, solid acting, particularly it says Anne Hathaway, and at first, like, oh, the actress
Oh
Anne
yeah.
Hathaway,
Mm-hmm.
but again, on the disambiguation for on Wikipedia, her name was Anne or Agnes. She's called Agnes or Agnes. Agnes. It's
Mm-hmm.
pronounced a very specific way in the movie, and I can't
Yes.
reproduce that
Yeah.
pronunciation, but
Mm-hmm.
it's spelled Agnes. So, she was called Agnes in the movie. Uh, her that actress, she did a fantastic job. I mean, the actor that played William Shakespeare also did a phenomenal job, but the one who really
Paul. Yeah.
carried the movie was Agnes. It was her character.
It definitely
Is she
was. Yeah.
nominated for best actress or
I'm
best
pretty sure.
actress?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She is indeed, and she's been winning. I think virtually everything on the way. Golden
Yeah.
Globes, Screen Actors. Well, I guess it's not just Actors Awards or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if she did. They did BAFTA already, but I'm sure she would win that. If not, yeah. No, she put in that real work. Um,
Yeah. This movie is clear. Like they set out to make complete Oscar bait with this movie from day one, from jump. So this is kind of like acting thespian tour de force. I mean, it's the prequel origin story to Shakespeare's arguably one of his most famous iconic, you know, plays, Hamlet. So it's the backstory to that. And as far as backstories go, it's a pretty compelling family drama.
yeah, very compelling.
And you know, listen, normally child acting is really bad. It was really good in this movie.
It was incredibly good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So credit
most of it. I
credit
mean,
to that.
yeah, credit to the kids. Again, like I typically say, I mean, not being a director myself, my assumption is, it was on the director Chloe to get the performances and choose the, what do they call it, the shots,
Child thespians. Oh,
no, no, no. Just like I mean, they film these things like each scene over and over and over, and so it's like on
sure.
the director and the editor and stuff like that to choose like which take. There it is. Which take to go for.
Yeah.
So,
Which take of the day which of the dailies, which one of the
hmm
dailies they're gonna run with.
hmm
Which shot captured the emotion and the scene
hmm
uh, either sufficiently or the way that they wanted it and the way that they envisioned it.
hmm
Uh,
yep.
so yeah, kind of what you were saying, like there's a lot that can go right and a lot that can go wrong between the actor's performance, the direction, and the scene selection and the editing.
Yeah.
I think editing is limited. It can't save bad acting, uh, but it can make a good scene fit in the grand plot, the grand story, the grand design of the story.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I think there are ways to use editing to solve potential bad acting, um, you know, representation.
Or
But Yeah.
Yeah, or if Liam Neeson can't climb a fence,
Uh-huh. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Mhm.
I mean, that was 43 different cuts. Um, it's
So
amazing.
many, so many. Mhm.
Yeah. So
I mean, it reminds me a lot of this film, like that. This film had, moments like that, just to separate itself from all the classic Shakespearean
right.
sort of productions they've ever done. You know?
I guess I would say particularly in this movie because there's so many like close-up shots. There's a fine limit to what editing would be able to solve if they just didn't perform the scene correctly or act it out like I mean like the level of neurosurgery that would have to be done to fix that in editing, you might as well just shoot the shot over. You know what I'm saying? Because some of them are longer. They're like long shots, right? And we'll get into that. We'll get into that. Actually, let's save the rest of this conversation for
Yeah.
the spoiler
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
Right now we're in spoiler free. I feel like we're going past just the speed run. Now we're just kind of talking about
Yeah.
specific things.
Hmm.
Let's talk about that in the spoiler section.
Okay.
So, with
So
that
before
said,
we get to that, actually, before we get to spoilers, would you say that this like very starkly lands within the period piece, timepiece kind of drama slash strategy genre of sorts? Like when we watched this movie, did you think of, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice or Little Women, or
I
even like
promise you, I promise you, I did not think of Pride or Prejudice or Little Women. Um, Not just for
uh-huh.
this movie, but just in general. I promise you that was at no point on my mind. Just
Yes. Yeah,
let's be very clear on that.
yeah.
This is a live stream. This is going out to the world. Let the record show that at no
Mm.
point was I thinking about Pride or Prejudice or Little Women.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot state that clearly enough.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
no, Josiah, I
Yeah,
definitely was
yeah.
not thinking about those things.
Did you think about Wuthering Heights even though we didn't even watch it? Like,
No. Okay, so from what I heard, it's just basically like it's like trashy women's novel slop
Mm.
that they turned into Wuthering Heights with a little bit of Wuthering Heights on it
Oh,
with the with the with
fascinating.
the with the it guy actor, one of the it guy actors that white women like.
Oh, yeah, yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, that guy.
Yep,
So he's
yep.
kind of the it guy right now, and they got
Mhm.
him to act in some slop with Margot Robbie,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's kind of like, I mean, I was already not wanting to watch it because
Mhm.
it was called Wuthering Heights. I'll pass. But,
Mhm.
like if it got really, really good reviews of it, I'd be like, all right, I'll stretch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm kind of good on Margot Robbie. I've already seen what's the one, big bad, big bold, beautiful Bill adventure. What was it?
Oh, yeah, Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I feel like, am I gonna get
There's
anything
you can
radically
watch
different?
one Margot Robbie film a year. So this year was A Big Bold Beautiful Journey.
Yeah,
Last year was Barbie, which almost stretches out her welcome for like 2 or 3 years, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I totally understand. All right. Well, I was just asking you that because I wanted to, yeah, I exactly feel the same. This, even though it has the like the markings of a period piece film, there's
It's
that
definitely a
element.
period piece.
There's definitely
It's
that
definitely a
yeah.
period piece.
But
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just felt like he was more down to earth than most of those, and I think it probably comes down to the writing. For most of it, I don't want to spoil. Well, we'll cover that specifically, but I think, unlike what you're saying happened with that other movie, Wuthering Heights, it seems like they did potentially modernize the dialogue a lot,
Oh,
and
oh,
compared to
ugh,
this is not the
oh,
pure Shakespeare
that
experience,
sounds
like yeah.
that sounds like oh, that just sounds like basic white female fodder. Like, oh,
Oh no!
oh,
Oh no! Oh
oh.
no! 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 No!
Listen,
No!
listen.
No! That's not
That's
what I'm
not
describing.
listen. There's nothing wrong with being a basic white female. Like, to be clear, and you deserve to have movies made for you too. Sure, but um, Yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on that movie.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
All I would say is I don't know if it's my tolerance for period piece films or not, but it didn't come across like slapping me in the face like oh my god, this is an old period piece film that like you're not
I don't even know
gonna
where that came from.
necessarily enjoy. Hey, how are you doing, Merrick? Welcome on in, man. Welcome on
What's up,
in.
Merrick? Hang on.
Hmm.
What's up, Merrick?
If you don't
What's
mind,
good?
either you or Genobi, please let us know if we're delayed or not. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of it again, but yeah. If there's a disconnect between like our video and our audio, like you're hearing the audio before the video or something, let us know.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, I mean, it's a period piece, but like, I've seen period pieces before. What was the movie that we just watched? Oh yeah, Frankenstein. It was a period
Mhm.
piece, kind of like that, less fantastical than Frankenstein, but
Mhm.
still a period
Mhm.
piece.
Yeah.
Set in the same like old time, post medieval, just kind of like dark. Not even is it dark age? No, it's past the dark age. Like Renaissance, like pre-Renaissance. I don't
Uh-huh.
know.
Okay, we're
Long
doing
time ago,
good.
England.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, it just
yeah.
felt more watchable to me than some of
Oh,
the some I mean maybe it's just you know, some of the most of the period piece movies were made a long time ago, and so there's a difference in cinema between then and now
sure.
a little bit. Yeah. Anyways, yeah,
All
no,
right.
I'm down. I'm down to move on to
All
spoilers.
right.
Yeah.
So we are now exiting the spoiler-free portion of this live stream podcast movie review. If you have not seen the movie yet and you do not wish to be spoiled, then go ahead and pause the video or come back and join us and watch the full review. Um, we'd love to have you. But we are going to be entering in the spoiler territory now. So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. We are now entering into spoiler territory right now. All right. So,
You know, I'm now reading the poster even more. Yes, the partner writer was Maggie O'Farrell, which is actually the writer of the 2020 book. So
okay, so she wrote the screenplay too.
yeah,
Or she
which you know which doesn't always happen. I think I don't know like what the percentage of like successful films come from the actual like book writer adapting the film or
yeah,
not.
I
Um,
know that for Jurassic Park, I believe Michael Crichton worked alongside David Coep, I believe, who did this.
mm,
I believe he was involved in the screenplay. So I mean, he didn't directly write the screenplay, but I think he had a big hand in helping form it
mhm,
and making Jurassic Park, which is a 399-page uh, book, paperback book, into a digestible film that would be for the summer. Um, if that movie were true to the book, it would have to be in three parts, and it would be NC-17 for violence.
mm, mhm,
That movie, that
yeah.
book goes into excruciating detail about how various characters were disemboweled and dismembered, and yeah, it gets real grimy.
Mm. Oh man.
And so,
Which
I
is not
mean,
what happens in this film. This film does
no,
have some very mature content in it, but um
it's a
most of the time.
PG-13 movie, as I
Was it
understand.
actually PG-13?
I think it
Okay.
was. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Um,
possibly. Yeah.
okay, so yeah, there is like a tinge of a love scene, but body parts are covered up, and it starts, but it doesn't. It just cuts away to the next scene. So
Yeah, thankfully. Yeah.
it's not really like a full blown like sex scene, love
Yeah.
scene, romantic
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah.
So if
We'll
you're a
cover it. We'll
parent,
probably cover it briefly, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, if you're a parent, like you would cover your kid's eyes, like this, like this, you know, and you might plug their ears for about 15 seconds, and then that would be the end of it.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
yeah, just so you don't have any weird questions on the ride home.
Fair.
Anyway,
It's fair.
okay, so let's talk about.
Yeah.
I mostly have positive things to say about this movie.
Same.
Actually,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. So let's just talk about what we liked, and then
Mm. Mm.
let's kind of go from there.
Yeah.
Again, I already stated the cinematography is really good. Whatever the film grade, you know, like it's not sepia tone, um, but like
Mm.
it
Oh,
does have its
thankfully
own
not.
film grade. Yeah, it's not,
Yeah.
but whatever that the film grade was appropriate for the timepiece.
Mhm.
This movie, along with like Frankenstein, and for that matter, like Peaky Blinders, they all do a really good job of just making London or England during that time period. It's just like a desperately miserable place to be. Like I just uh, like like like
Mhm.
there's nothing romanticized about it. It's like, man, I don't ever want to like
Oh yeah.
I would never want to live in that period. Again, this is probably why I had significantly less interest in Pokemon Sword and Shield, because it's just kind of like modeling England or the UK, and it's just like,
Mhm.
like I've traveled around the world at different countries. I've been to South America, I've
You
been
know?
to
Yeah.
Japan, I've been to Canada, I've been to Mexico, and like I'll get to Western Europe eventually, I guess,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah,
Um,
no, no, there's some cool things over there, for sure
I'm
from what
sure.
I've heard, but um, I don't know. Yeah, in my mind, London is nothing. England itself is, especially London, specifically London, seems to be just concrete and gray and black colors, and I just feel like you'll be the color will be drawn out of your body if you live over
Yeah,
there for too long,
you just be
and
like
you probably just don't
ingrained
see the sun. It's always
in charcoal
overcast.
gray. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll just be like in charcoal gray and earth tones,
yeah,
like depressing earth tones.
yeah.
Like when I watched The Last Samurai, I'm like, okay, Japan's cool. I can see myself living in this time period. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Uh-huh. That's what's
Um,
up. Yep.
I got a samurai sword.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
There's some cutie pies in feudal Japan. Like I
Yeah,
can get with
yeah,
it.
yeah. You might
You
got
know,
go by the name of Sasuke or something like that.
oh Yasuke, Sasuke,
Yasuke.
whatever. You know. Um,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so yeah, I never get that feeling like, oh man, I want to be wearing, I want to be wearing like a wool suit and walking around in
Mm.
smoky, dingy, dirty cesspool of London. I'm like, ugh, nah, I'll pass.
It's a kind description of
I'll
it, man.
I'll pass.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So you
this
feel like he felt on the side of that pier, right? Just looking at London. Yeah.
even before that, like when he
Mm.
is walking
Mm-hmm.
through and they're like burning mattresses and presumably during the plague and somebody died and they're just burning all their
Mm.
belongings,
Yeah.
in some back alley. It's like that. It's like, ugh,
Mm.
like,
Mm. Mm.
yeah, I
Mhm.
mean,
Mhm.
I'm not looking
Yeah.
forward to visiting.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, you're. It's potentially a very different time period. I'm not great at these, knowing the exact time period of things, but we're talking about the plague there. Yeah, if you guys want to experience, this is a shout out, not a sponsor. This time period in a video game, a Plague Tale, Innocence, and I think Requiem or whatever.
Mm,
Yeah, worth playing. Yeah, you can control rats. Who wouldn't want to do that? Uh,
yeah.
all right,
Um,
back
you know,
back to this
they
film.
did, I mean, that might be like something that was less realistic about this movie. Like I don't recall seeing any rats. Um, England is infested with rats, especially during this time period. Like your next door neighbors are a pack of rats. Like it's just they're just
Uh
all
huh.
over the place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you don't get that sense in this movie.
Yeah.
And again, it's not really a big deal. But yeah, I mean, just in general, they do kind of show like the dreariness of just the environment, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And there are points in which he's like just either kind of camping or just hanging out by the dock or the pier, and homeless people are just lighting fires and making their own little encampments and stuff like that. And it's like, oh yeah, it's super grimy out here. Um, Sometimes you're almost like, is he actually living there himself, or Is he just spending time there? Is he getting inspiration or something? You don't really know.
No,
But
he's living there. Yeah, that's he's gone for long time periods, it
no,
seems.
but is he specifically living like on the like at the pier like a homeless person is,
Oh,
or
no, 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 no.
is he just hanging out there, eating
He's
his
he's
apple or whatever?
he seems to go there, various different times to ponder and maybe write and stuff like that. They showed the little apartment or whatever that he would live at, near the
Yeah,
end of
towards
the
the end.
film there. Hmm.
Even though that he had bought the most expensive, biggest house in Stratford or whatever the area, but he himself was still living that little chateau or whatever you call it,
Yeah.
little apartment.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I think the
Which I
acting's
don't
really
know.
good.
Was
Like I
do you
said,
know if that was like in the theater itself? Like I didn't. That wasn't fully clear to me.
no, it wasn't
Which
clear.
is
It seemed
fine.
like it was probably adjacent to the theater, and he was probably there just for the purposes of like proximity. And that's probably where he lived before he had the funds to purchase that big old house that he ended up getting. A house that you never actually see.
Yeah.
You see the keys for it, but you don't actually see it.
Hmm.
Anyway, it's kind of a footnote
Biggest
at the end of the
disappointment of
movie.
the film, man. Like, it does not get paid off. Like, goodness gracious, I want to see these kids running around this big old mansion. Like, come on now.
I mean, for me, that doesn't bother me so much because he wasn't you don't get the sense that he's necessarily trying to be wealthy doing this. He was just pursuing. I mean, I mean, I think he was looking to make a living doing it, but he didn't seem particularly driven by money per se.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
So yes,
yeah, but
as
yeah,
far as our just coverage of this film, I don't know that we need to cut it up between like good and bad. Honestly, like maybe we could just talk about it all at the same time, like describing the movie and what we thought of it, potentially from beginning in. If you're down for that, we can try something like that.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of like the way that they meet. He sees her. He's teaching kids Latin, and he sees her in the window. Just kind of doing her forest witch thing. She's a witch. Like what she's doing is witchcraft. Like no, they don't really play it up that way.
Yeah,
These
110%.
verbal lore
Yeah,
that is 110% witchcraft. Um, yeah, make no mistake about that. Witchcraft.
yeah,
She's reading palms and all stuff. That's like gypsy witchcraft kind of stuff. All right, but
yeah, yeah. But the movie,
really,
yeah, which is true. But the movie doesn't like it honestly presents it in a kinder light in a lot of ways.
oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
she comes across as like, oh no, she's just like she's a special forest lady, and like this is a real thing. Like her and her mother and her mother's mother, like they are elves almost. They're people of the forest. They are connected to this real reality of human connection with nature. um
Yeah, they're all witches. Like they're witches. Make no mistake. That's all that is. I was like, I think one person called her a witch. Like it only happened once in a movie. I think at some point they called her a witch.
mm, mm.
Um, she definitely got called a wench by her to be mother-in-law when she was saying like, I don't want my son marrying this wench. Uh, used as a pejorative. Uh,
Definitely. Yeah,
yeah. It's
it was a
interesting. Like
really quick it was a really quick meeting. Like
before
I
they started making out.
I mean, it was, yeah, a matter of seconds basically. um Which, I think some people are gonna watch it and be like, "Oh man, that feels like, oh, that feels really romantic." It's just sweeping me off my feet, like the amount of
Yeah,
game that's happening right there in that moment. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, I was a little confused to be honest. I thought they knew each other, like, and they were just kind of
I
like
think they kind of
playfully.
did.
You think so? You think so?
I get the sense that he'd been like just kind of passively like, seeing her walking around, and he's made a couple passes at her, and she was receptive to it, but like just kind of this was a time where like
Yeah,
women were doing the dance in good faith. And it was like this kind of like, okay, you pursue me, okay, I'll let it in, but I won't give it all away, you know um she was still reciprocating, and it was a dance, right? Um, Not like today, not at all like today. Those days are so far gone. Um, Women reciprocate.
Yeah.
Anyway, like she
Well,
was
she
reciprocating.
wasn't, to be fair though, she wasn't doing the dance like everybody else at the time. Like she was very clearly not fitting within the normal like social and norms of her
Yeah,
people,
she wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
She wasn't looking to
Mhm.
be like looking for a suitor and looking to
Mhm.
be scooped up by the
Mhm.
local businessman's son or whatever. She wasn't playing that game. She was
Mhm.
playing her own game. Bill and Billy Madison Shakespeare was totally down. He liked how quirky she was in the dirt in her fingernails. Okay, so whenever we have these period pieces before they had toothpaste, I always kind of cringe when they start kissing. I'm like, oh,
Oh man.
bro.
Yeah, look,
I hope there's like some mint and some sage she's chewing on before they start macking.
look,
Oh,
good thing it's not a 4D experience, 5D experience. Uh,
oh, dude, the bo alone, bro.
yeah, that'd
These
be
people
so
like,
bad.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah, and
terrible.
like
That'd be terrible.
the teeth and stuff. I don't know.
So
So
at
like,
least I didn't notice how bad their teeth were, which is not, actually not bad for the time period, to be honest. I didn't notice until afterwards, so I was it wasn't weird for me, quite. As the movie goes on and you get more and more of the close up shots, you're like, oh yeah, yeah, they got some some very yellow
right?
teeth and like
She
some
pretty
like
much wore the
yeah.
same dress the entire movie, except when she got married,
Hmm. Mhm.
which is fine. Like that's her red dress. I don't expect people of that time period to have like a gigantic
Mhm.
wardrobe. These weren't wealthy people. They're from they're countryside people.
Mhm.
Totally
Mhm.
fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. I like that there was like a real drama between Shakespeare, William, and his father.
Yeah.
His father despised him and the fact that he was educated.
Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think he despised him.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's William that's like paying off his father's like exorbitant debts. But like he's still super disrespectful to him. It's like this weird, super toxic relationship between father and son.
Terrible, terrible. It seems to
Eh,
be that they seeded information that, like, yeah, he went off to college, and they potentially spent a lot of money on him, becoming somebody of title and status, and he doesn't he doesn't land in a career immediately that achieves any of that. So it kind of comes across like, yeah, he's
He
just
squandered his time in
mass,
higher education, and yet
yeah.
he's still paying off his father's debt.
Mhm.
Still paying off. So like,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
probably some jealousy there, some resentment
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
towards your own son, which is super ugly and gross.
Yeah, it's bad.
Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that
the father has some major problems, like the fact that he's beating his son
verbally
alone,
abusing
like
him.
yeah, even even verbal abuse before that, yeah, is awful. There's
Yeah, and that
definitely a
comes
lot
to
of
a
things
head at
wrong.
one point.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes in the movie is like, I guess they're like they're leather
The
tanners or
gloves,
whatever.
yeah, they're like, yeah, like leather workers, or
Yeah, leather workers, whatever that term, like, the leather smiths, whatever.
yeah. Mhm.
And they're working up in the attic or in one of the rooms, and
Mhm.
like the father's just like verbally berating him while training the other son. He's just looking at him,
Mhm.
oh, useless or whatever.
Mhm.
And then he like hits him, and then William like he'd had enough, and he knew he was stronger than his dad, and so he pretty much posted like shoves him against the wall, like this is the last time you ever do that. And the father's like, he kind of just readily agreed because he knew he really would like he once it became real and he would really have to fight his son, he wasn't about that life at all. He was a coward.
Mhm. I
And
mean, yeah, it's a
so,
coward that does something like that in the first place.
yeah,
Or talks down to his chastises his
adult
children, like
son.
you know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so that was actually one of my favorite scenes where he like stood
Yeah,
up for himself and
yeah.
he posted him up like, listen, you're about to get body slammed in front of
Hmm.
your grandson or whatever.
Hmm.
Like I will. I will beat the brakes off of you if you hit me with one more thing. Like yeah, I'm gonna have
Yep.
some explaining to do. I'm gonna have to explain to my mother what I just did to my father. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 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 It's
The
not
fact
very
that it got to that point.
clear why he's let it happen this long. Um, but
Yeah.
one can make guesses at it.
However, it got to that point, he reached his
Yeah.
breaking point. So like, I thought that was
Mhm.
cool.
His
Um,
injury that he has is one thing that's very prominent, like at the very beginning of the film. Like when he's teaching the kids, you see his injury, and you almost wonder, like, oh, is he does he come from like a boxing background, or was he imprisoned or something, or yeah.
didn't he
But
explain what happened when she was like healing it and like putting like the herbs and stuff on it? I
uh,
can't remember if he had mentioned
man,
what happened.
I forget specifically if he gave a
Yeah,
reason.
but
I
one of
don't
her ways
remember
of
him saying my father strikes me, but
no, he never said
yeah.
that. But one of the
Hmm.
ways that Anne Agnes was like, showing affection and loving him was like tending to his wound. And so
Yeah.
it kind of created like a kind of a tender moment.
Mhm.
If you get past how yucky and dirty the hands were when they're like making all the,
Mm-mm-mm.
if you can get past that, um,
Yeah.
they didn't have plastic gloves or
Mhm.
latex gloves back
Yeah.
then, so whatever.
But when his father
But
strikes him in that scene you're describing, it's immediately apparent like how he winds up getting the injuries on his head in that way.
possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Again, it's not clearly explicitly stated, but it's entirely possible.
Actually, before we go too
So,
much further, I wanted to cover. Okay, I did continue when I was reading the summary earlier. I did just read the whole thing, but I felt like the movie wanted his name to be a surprise. Like when they finally unveil his name, like 2/3
yeah,
into the film, if not more, I'm like,
it's
oh,
like just
they've
before.
intentionally, yeah, which is a strange one because yeah, for most of the film, I was like, I know Agnes, but like, what's his name? What's his name?
Wait, he does say William at
Did
a certain point, but they don't say his
they had
last
said
name.
Will at some point? Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
or they say
forgot.
William,
Yeah.
but they didn't say Shakespeare till like just before the play starts at
Yeah,
the
I
end.
actually wish that wasn't in our synopsis, but what are you gonna do?
Well, they didn't
It was
say it in the.
it was a big moment for me in the film, actually. When they said his full name, and I was like, oh, this is what. Okay, because I didn't know this like the synopsis of the film in any way, shape, or form, or the book. So it was actually a really satisfying kind of like revelation when that happened.
Oh, okay, yes. To me, it
Yeah.
was like I thought it was interesting that they waited, but I knew. I mean, I don't know. I went in knowing that that was William Shakespeare. So
Oh, I wonder. Was it in the trailer? Because I didn't watch the whole trailer.
no, I mean, I just knew from just watching the movie. Like, I want to go and I'm writing stuff, and I want to go. I kind of thought it was in the trailer. Like he was going away to work on plays and stuff like
Hmm.
that. Like that's very to me. That's like very clearly William Shakespeare.
Hmm.
Um, I mean,
Hmm.
the
Yeah.
son's name was Hamnet, or Hamlet. Okay, so just to be clear, Hamnet, the there's a little text. What do you call it? A little in the beginning of the movie, text box or
S-
whatever.
or
Screen
like
call.
a card
Yeah,
potentially.
text card. It was just black screen with the white text, and it says, there's no distinction between Hamnet and Hamlet back during that time. They're interchangeable in terms of how they were pronounced and how they were spelled. This movie is called Hamnet, so as not to completely give away. Well, no, I think it's called Hamnet because we associate Hamlet specifically with the play, and I guess this movie wanted to distinguish itself so that people wouldn't think that they were just watching a reenactment of a film version of the play
Hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the book is named Hamnet as well. Yeah, I'm sure that could be what the author was
yeah, so you're not reading a
doing.
screenplay.
Hmm.
You're not the book is not a screenplay or a playwright or whatever the right term is, but it's a novel, right?
Or it was just a way to catch attention and differentiate itself in
Yeah,
general.
that
Yeah.
as well.
Mhm.
But I mean, but just to be clear, the film does like tell you, it tells you immediately at the very beginning. There's, there's no distinct. There's a whole title card, not a title
Yeah.
card, but like
Mhm.
whatever it's called, a little text card that tells you
Mhm.
why it's called Hamnet, not Hamlet, and that because they're essentially the same word. That's essentially what
Mhm.
I'm saying.
Mhm.
Essentially a lot, but that's what they explain clearly at
Yeah.
the beginning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so when the play comes out and you see the flyer for it, says Hamlet, you're like, I guess you're supposed to have that moment. Okay, so
You just knew it. You just picked it up. You figured it
yeah,
out.
so let's
Mhm.
rewind. They have children. There's a big drama about the children, and Agnes wanted her child to be born in the forest, and they wouldn't let her go. She thought she was only having one child. Turns out she had twins, and the daughter almost didn't survive, and then it did.
Yeah, she came out not breathing and still. I
And
think it
then
was
she
was it
started
was it
breathing.
was it Jocelyn or not Jocelyn or Jolene or something?
It was the twin. It was the twin sister.
Yeah.
They already had one child, it was a daughter,
Yeah.
and then they had the twins, the son and the daughter. The son's name was Hamnet,
Mhm.
and um, yeah, they have a really cool relationship. The twins have a cool kind of close relationship.
Mhm.
One of my favorite parts of the movie was the relationship between William and his son Hamnet. They were very close, very affectionate, very close. I think that was really cool. Um, And by all accounts, it seemed that when Shakespeare was home, he was a very active, involved, great father. Um,
Judith.
so
Judith was the other twin. Yeah.
yes, and so like he had the dilemma and the struggle of being an itinerant playwright. So he had to leave home to pursue his career, his calling. And there's a kind of a tragic irony in that because it was his wife that encouraged and asked for the family to endorse and to bless and to financially support him going to London so that he could pursue his vision and his passion for being a playwright.
Hmm.
And then, through a course of events, she comes to resent him for that. For very clear and obvious reasons all as well. So this movie is set during the period where the bubonic plague was a life-threatening illness. And the daughter is very close to death. And in kind of it's kind of a little woo woo and it's kind of a little supernatural in a sense. But the
Yeah.
brother says, I
Mhm.
give you my life. And, so then the next morning they wake up, they take off the sheet. They were sleeping, he was kind of cradling her, his sister, his twin sister, like they were in the womb together, you know what I mean? And she's fine. She's healed. Her fever is broken. But now he's got the plague. So basically, in other words, it kind of like oh, did you see him? In other words, like the Grim Reaper of Death, ostensibly, or something like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And essentially, he took on her illness, and tragically, it cost him his life. And there's a scene right as he is dying because like you're still part of you, and this is really effective in the movie, you're still kind of holding out hope because you saw this the first time where you thought the baby
Mhm.
was going to die and the baby ended up living. And then in a tragic irony, the baby that was healthy became the child that took the bubonic plague from the unhealthy one and ended up paying the ultimate price for that, died. So there's like both there's that kind of tragedy, and at the same time the daughter's life was spared, so like you're relieved, but then it's tragic that the son died, but it would have been just as tragic if the daughter had died, you know what I mean? And all the while, I guess word had gotten to William, and so he's riding, he's on horseback and he's riding, he's trying to get home, not knowing what's in store for him, because he got a letter and so and so's ill, come home quickly, kind of thing, presumably. You just see him on horseback riding in what appears to be the early morning or the late afternoon. It's like overcast and kind of dark. So you're not quite sure what time it is. And during that time, you're not exactly sure how much time is passing and what part of the day it is. But essentially, Hamnet dies and they're wrapping the body. And then finally, William arrives and he has to, say goodbye to his son. And he doesn't really say goodbye. He's like, "Oh, this is my boy," and he's like, brushing his hair back. It's heartbreaking. It's tragic.
Mhm.
And what
Definitely
makes it even
is.
more
Yeah.
tragic is like almost within a couple days, almost like very soon, almost immediately, he goes back to London to keep working.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now it's brutal and it's tragic on multiple levels. Number one, I mean the family's still gotta he's still gotta make ends meet for the family. So he has to work to put food on the table for them. So that's one part of it. The second part of it is he very much is running away because he can't deal with the devastation at home, and so he's leaving his wife to deal with it alone, essentially. Only just the two daughters are there, but they're dealing
Hmm.
with it themselves, so they can't really be there for her like she needed him to be there. And it's like so, like he has to leave to support the family. He's also running away, and then she's left holding down the fort after she just lost her son. And she's deeply angry and resentful of him for doing so. You see that during the scene where he comes back and he's giving out gifts, and Agnes gets this beautiful bracelet or whatever, and she does not care. And there's this heartbreaking part where in the beginning
No,
of the movie,
go.
hmm?
Pardon.
Oh,
Pardon.
you're talking to me. There's a heartbreaking like in the beginning of the movie, she kind of reads his palm and it's like, oh, I see the world, I see all this potential in you. And then he gives her his hand after Hamnet dies. She's like, yeah, I don't see anything. And it's like super like soul crushing and heartbreaking. He's essentially being rejected by his wife, and it's understandable because he was gone when she needed him the most because they just lost their son. But he couldn't be there. I mean, he was driven to the depths of despair himself, as you kind of alluded to in the one scene where he's at the River Thames and he's standing on
Hmm.
the edge
Hmm.
of the
Hmm.
coast, and it's not like he's about to jump off because he's just so overcome with grief. And then he utters the most iconic Shakespeare
Shakespeare
line,
line of ever of all time. Yeah, exactly.
to
Hmm.
be
You
or
already
not
know
to be.
it.
That is the question. And then
Hmm.
obviously he decides to step away from the edge, and he doesn't end his life, but he's going through it. And so part of it is like different people. Uh,
Yeah,
did he
honestly, the
abdicate his?
things. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just like, did he abdicate his duty to his family? No.
Hmm.
To his wife in particular? Yes, because she's a grieving mother who just lost her only son, and she's devastated. But he's also devastated. And there's a scene where like she's like trying to fight him because he's leaving. She's like trying to push him, and like he has to like kind of restrain her physically. And he's not mad at her. He totally understands why she's angry, and like everybody loses in this, right? I think it's really effective in showing that it's like everybody.
Hmm.
There's no winners in this, right? If he stayed and didn't work on the play, he loses. He loses his livelihood, everything. If he goes, he loses. You know, I mean, the possible win would be if he stayed there and grieved with his wife, but then they would be grieving for other reasons because they'd probably be out of house and home because he wasn't making any money. It's all a mess,
It's
all a
possible.
mess.
It's very
And
possible.
yeah, the
Yeah,
movie does a good job of capturing that.
it's the biggest strength of the film. It's the core of its writing, exploring the realities that many people go through, the complexities of life. life,
Yeah.
home, love, family, work, all of it. Yeah, I think the strength of this film is that it represents it in a believable, compelling, very very relatable way. I find it hard to believe if someone watches this film and doesn't like reflect on their own life in during some of the scenes, and yeah, truly wind up connecting to the characters.
Right. And I think one of the beautiful, most satisfying parts of the movie comes again, I'm not into Shakespeare, right?
Same.
Uh, I don't
I
care.
was almost lost at the beginning. Yeah, I think you're getting to it. Go
The
ahead.
like it's just the language of his plays.
Yep.
I don't care. I
Mhm.
really don't care.
Yeah.
I recognize it's art, it's Shakespeare, it's la 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 la, it's
Mhm.
classic,
Mhm.
it's all the good stuff.
Yeah.
You can read 1,000 books on it. Great,
Yeah.
wonderful, whatever.
Mhm. It's beautiful, but it's also very distancing. You know, it's like its
Yeah.
own. You have to. You truly have to study it. Unless you're just really good at language yourself and sentence structure and grammar and all that stuff, and you can get it.
From
Yeah,
that time period specifically.
from that time period, yeah, because it's honestly it's like constant. It's a constant puzzle of description of conceptual
Yeah.
thoughts and tangible intangible ways. Like it's just like constantly it's complex and almost needlessly complex, especially to our common tongue in this day and age.
Right. But the movie stays true to what the play was, and I think that's really good. And
Mhm,
what it probably looked like, the set piece and the production, all that. I
mhm,
thought that was really good.
mhm,
And it works on two levels. So when the
mhm,
boy
mhm,
dies, there's a symbolism of like he's like in this in between world between life and death,
mhm,
and he's about to walk through this dark entranceway, and you
mhm,
don't see he does, and that they cut before he does anything, right? He's kind of looking back, looking for his mom, and he's kind of crying and he's upset. And I think he looks up and sees her hawk that had died. She had a bird and she had a glove,
mhm.
and the hawk had died at one
It's
point, and they
right
buried
here
it.
in the poster, which by the way is I didn't notice for the very longest until I like it popped out at me. I was like, "Oh shoot." I thought it was just the two of them like in the forest. And then all of a
Oh,
sudden
I
they
see
have
it.
this
Yeah.
they have this hawk in here shrunken. It's awkward. It's very awkward. I don't know why they chose to make this decision. Maybe I don't know if there's like a shape language kind of a thing they wanted to do on top of Shakespeare,
Yeah,
or a
it's a little
color
weird.
color thing, but it makes no sense. Everything else seemingly is like regular size, except maybe actually a couple of these plants. Some of these plants maybe aren't regular size actually. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's
weird. It's
still a
kind of
weird
weird.
decision.
Yeah,
Still a weird decision.
yeah.
Okay,
Anyways.
so in the play, it's the same door, right? And in the play, well, there's a couple things. So in the build up to the play, you see Shakespeare going over the lines with the actors and correcting them, getting frustrated because they're not they don't have enough vim and vigor and emotion
it's
and
his
dynamism.
it's his J.K. Simmons whiplash moment, kind of.
Kind of, yeah. And
Hmm.
so and he's struggling, right? And actually it's during that kind of like half montage where you see him doing that, and then at the end of that it shows him at night at the River Thames about to jump off, right? Because he's just dealing with the death of his son, just like his wife is, but they're separated. Okay, so there's a couple things that really worked that I liked. So as they're going into London, his wife and her brother, Shakespeare's brother-in-law, they travel together to London to see the play that's named after her dead son, right? So then they visit. They ask, uh, "Is Shakespeare here? Is William Shakespeare here?" That's when you first hear the name William Shakespeare because they're looking
Hmm.
for his apartment.
Hmm. Hmm.
'Cause they assume he's probably going to be there. So they go in there. He's not there, and then you see like his desk, his table with all of his papers and his pens and all that stuff. which is reminiscent of when they first got married and they were in the little loft and he had all this stuff there, right? All of his writings there. And so it's kind of a vague throwback to that earlier part in the movie where like he's in other words it's kind of like conveying to you the viewer that he's still the same William, right? He just bought this big old house for the family, but he's living in this tiny little chateau.
Mhm.
So I think that kind of works. And then the play actually starts, and the film actually shows about 20 to 30 minutes of actual Shakespeare Hamlet. And it accomplishes like
Very
at least
effective.
two things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it accomplishes at least two things. Number one, it shows that he had succeeded as a playwright and he had garnered a large audience. Um, Number two, he is like the Grim Reaper of Death. He's like in this white, pasty makeup.
He's the spirit of the king, the dead
Spirit.
king,
Yeah.
I believe.
Yes. I'm sorry. Not the Grim Reaper, but the spirit of the dead king. And it's almost like his way of saying goodbye to his son in his own way. And you see, and you know that because he goes off stage,
Mhm.
and then you just see him like white,
Yeah.
washing the makeup off of him, and then he just starts weeping, and he's
Yeah.
heartbroken. He's just like overcome with emotion. He performed his own lines, and then he's just sobbing. And then it accomplishes it accomplishes uh, showing him as a grieving father, truly grieving. And that's why he wrote this whole play. It's Hamlet. It's named after his dead son. And then it achieves. Okay, there's three things. There's that
Yeah,
him
there's
as
a
the
number of
grieving
things.
mother.
Hmm.
It shows his wife Agnes in the front row. At first, she's outraged. Like, do not say my son's name. That kind of thing. And she's disrupting the play. But then she has to kind of eventually calm down. And her brother kind of talks her off the ledge, so to speak. And then she sees the guy that ostensibly is playing her son, an adult version of her son. And you see her just completely being absorbed in it. And eventually
He
that
winds up,
son,
yeah, he winds up fulfilling the future that she had seen, or she had asked what future he wanted,
he
and
saw, right? So
yeah.
it's a payoff to
Hmm.
like what the son, like, I desire to be in my father's play on the stage
Hmm.
fighting and doing all
Hmm.
that.
Sword
And
fighting,
this actor,
winning the fight. Yeah,
yeah, who I think is an actor who's been in other things. I don't remember, but like
probably.
he acted very well.
Hmm.
And eventually in the film he's poisoned or whatever, and he gives us like soliloquy, and then he dies.
Hmm.
And at first he's heartbroken, but then it all kind of comes together. You see, going back to that imagery of the son, that scene where he's like about to walk through the door, but like he can't. It's almost like he looks back and sees his mom, and then after that he walks in. And the most beautiful scene to me in the movie was the last scene where like she laughs, and then she's just like, you know, she's just kind of like looking, and William sees his wife kind of like
Hmm.
taking it in. It's like,
Hmm.
you thought I was just running away from the family and everything. No, actually, I wasn't. I did this for you, sweetheart. Like he's really what he's doing. Like he did this for
Hmm.
his wife. And to show that she wasn't suffering alone, and that this was his way of like honoring the loss of their son. And he gave her a cathartic release because she kind of laughs, like, oh, he went home, you know, and it just and the camera just stays on her, and just like
Hmm.
normally in movies, and I kind of wish that she had been crying and saw tears coming down, but as I think about it now, it's like, no, like her face did all the acting. There's the music, and then there's just
Hmm.
her face,
Hmm.
and the camera just stays on her.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
And like I said, like, this is why she's
incredibly
winning whatever
effective.
award she wins.
Yes,
Whatever award she wins is because probably amongst the film in general, this scene in particular,
this is an amazing
it's a
scene.
powerful scene
Yeah, and the
because it's just,
music in this scene
yeah,
exiting the film is
oh,
fantastic. Yeah.
big time.
Oof.
It's the marriage of these things that came together,
All of it.
and the fact
Yeah.
that they let the audience like sit with that emotion, and like she was just kind of reacting, with these subtle
Mhm.
nuances of her facial expressions, because it was way more subtle than I would have. I probably would have made it more dramatic and melodramatic. Just I don't know, just in my thinking,
Mhm.
but it was so subtle. Her little like facial expressions, and just
Mhm.
I mean, just the fact that they kept the camera on her. I was like, that like when they got that shot, like they knew they had something in the bag,
Oh
and that
yeah.
everything else
Yep.
could be edited around to facilitate that closing scene of the movie.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was powerful. It was
Amazing.
good.
One thing that you didn't wind up mentioning, also, like connected to that scene, was uh, when the actor winds up leaving, through the doorway. It then also transitions to the sun exiting through the
Yes.
doorway, like
So like
because we see the sun in that in between, for a good like half of the movie, and this is the scene where we see him actually like
right.
go into
So he
go into
looks
the
back.
beyond.
He looks back and kind of like shakes, kind of nods to her, kind of like, okay, I'm ready to go. And then it shows him kind of walking into the blackness, the darkness of it. And then that's when she kind of laughs and like, oh, he finally went home. You know, I'm almost glad that they. I mean, if I was going to add anything to that scene, maybe at the end of it, just like her, Agnes, and William like reconnecting after she saw that, and then they just. I'm sure there was like a warm embrace, and they both probably just wept in each other's arms, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. I think there was a
it's
moment
okay that they didn't
where
show
there
that.
was a moment where they do see each other, right? Was it like an
I'm not.
over the shoulder
I
shot of
think,
him looking out and
yeah,
seeing
I think she
Agnes?
saw.
Yeah,
He saw her from backstage. He saw her from behind the stage. I don't think she saw him. I think she was so
yeah. He
wrapped up
connects
in
with
her story.
her at the end of his
Yeah,
scene, and then he comes back after crying and is looking at the play from
yeah, but
side
she was so
stage.
wrapped up. She was so
Yeah.
immersed in it that I don't think she saw him at all.
No, no, no.
I mean, she knew that that was him when he was acting, but like she didn't see
Hmm.
him when the guy that was playing Hamlet, her son, was there. Like she was just like, no, that this is my son, and she even like holds his hand because the actor gets really into it. He sees that he has the crowd. He puts his hand out, and she holds his hand, and then other people hold his hand too as well. But like that was her way of saying goodbye to her son.
That's one of my
And
favorite moments right there, actually. And I
yeah,
think I seem to remember potentially a anecdote that is sort of the thing that happened, like really like back in that time period. Like, I mean, we all get immersed into stories now. When stories were being shown in this very unique globe kind of experience, and it was it maybe the very dawn of the theater, right? Possibly.
yeah, something like
People
that.
people weren't prepared for what this was, and so like during the story, they got so involved, into the characters that their like separation of like reality and the fiction was kind of blurred, or and they felt so moved that they would then like interact with the actual actors. So yeah, this scene in particular where he's not trying to reach out to her. He's just doing his like his dying moment.
Sure,
The
he
fact that
doesn't
she
know that
she
that
reaches out
secret.
and grabs him, he's surprised for a slight moment there,
Yeah,
and
he
then
doesn't know that that's
yeah.
the director's wife. You know what I
No,
mean?
oh no, no, he doesn't know the director's wife, nor does he know that anyone's gonna touch him. Like he
Right,
was
right, 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 right.
surprised that not only does she grab his hand, but like all the people up
Everybody does.
front winds up
Everybody
like
in the front does.
putting
Yeah.
their hands on him.
Right.
And I mean, just powerful moment that yeah displays just yeah
All kinds of
the weight,
humanity, all kinds of emotion. Yeah.
yeah, and what the storytelling medium is capable of, and
Right.
relating and connecting to people. Which is why
Right.
part of
So
the reason
yeah.
why we do this show and all that stuff, like that's
Right.
why we all go to the theaters and watch stuff. We connect to it
Right.
and
But
enjoy it.
again, if she wins the Oscar for Best Actress, it'll be because
Oh
of that
man,
scene
yeah, yeah,
for sure. She yeah
yes,
she acted the heck out of that scene.
yeah. I will
So
say, because I want to pepper in some of my negatives here and there. It's not even like let me just put it us out. all the things that are negative for me in this film are like the most almost the most trivial. They're like either personal. It's nothing against the writing. It's like it's more so my viewpoint on how to go about living life, but it's totally fine that characters don't wind up living out my viewpoint necessarily. And
Right.
it's also just a weird moment where sometimes things bump me out of a film, and it's nothing to do with the writing or the acting. It's just like all that said, beyond the preamble, she does wind up like deeply crying and mourning a few times, whether it's through losing her son, or it's through yeah
Almost losing their daughter.
almost losing her daughter, or it's childbirth. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, what is up? Keep it real. Welcome on in, man. Welcome on
What's
in.
up?
You enjoyed this film? It was pretty good. Cool, man. Yeah, glad you did. We did also. We did also. Welcome back. Welcome back. Anyways, I was gonna say the first couple times when she gives birth and she's like truly like screaming and like pushing all of her energy like out of her body, it strikes me as realistic. But it also, I don't know, for whatever reason, sometimes it
There's
like
not
bumps
one
me out of the
umbilical
movie.
cord. There's not one umbilical cord the whole movie. These babies
Yeah.
just pop out. Boop, here you go. Nobody cut any like
Yeah.
nothing. No, there's no umbilical cords back then. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's that they don't want to go that far. Keep it real.
I
Yeah,
mean,
she
like
was having a mental breakdown. They were definitely showing that happening. But no, the first times when she gives birth and she's not having mental breakdown yet. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's a funny thing, sometimes like someone just like screaming their lungs out sometimes bumps me out just for the sheer fact of like I feel like there are a lot of people that aren't good actors that can scream really really loud and really powerfully,
right.
um and that like almost covers up their lack of acting. It's not the case here. It just bumped me for a half second. Yeah, nothing really against the movie. It's just how it works, how it works for me
Right.
personally.
Is Leonardo DiCaprio really acting in The Revenant, or is he just screaming as he's getting mauled by a bear?
I think it was back in theaters, so
Yeah.
you can go
Is
and
Nicolas
rewatch it.
Cage acting, or is he just being kooky and zany and loud? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's that
The
kind of
the
thing.
difference is she showed nuance in it in the times that it happened, and it wasn't just like the same note, same scream, same level of intensity. Like there was variance to it, in the times that it happened. Like it's more than just um yeah, it's more than just like, oh, good acting is being able to scream your heart out, and have no shame while you're screaming the scene. Anyways, I'll move on. Going back to yeah, the ending, man, incredible. Like this movie ends on such a powerful moment. It's like the perfect moment. Like, yeah, you might
Yeah.
want them to actually interact with each other, but you don't need them to.
No.
It's all there in the play, and seeing them watch it, seeing Will watch his wife experience it. Yeah, and that's one of the things that's awesome.
Yeah. There's real
It's amazing to be able to
reconciliation.
convey something without having to literally convey it.
Right.
That's something. It's kind of it's a beautiful. You know, it's the
Right.
artistic, the poetic, the kind of a deep element of
Yeah. This
you know.
this is what it looks like for this man to reconcile with his wife.
hmm hmm
You know,
Yeah,
because
I don't.
she says
Yeah.
some like pretty cutthroat things to him, things that would be uniquely hurtful to him and discouraging to him and soul crushing to him.
hmm
And
That
you
are
know,
that are
like
true. She some of it
yeah,
is it's obviously from her mental breakdown, from her grief, from what her experience is. But he did need to hear it 100%.
Yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
don't think that
and
he wasn't just like, oh, I need to support the family. I'm going to go support the family. Uh, it,
he was running away.
it was, yeah, it was like you're saying, 100% running away. And this film, this production was thankfully the his way to process and communicate to his wife. But it sounded like they had said that he was doing a lot of comedies before. Maybe this one was a tragedy. Um,
Yeah,
so it sounds almost like he's mostly left his family outside of in his experiences outside of his productions leading up to this, and it's strictly him like grappling with like, yeah, I was not there to say goodbye to my son, like my wife is saying.
which wasn't his fault. Like he
But
didn't know that his
it is
son was
his
going to die.
it is his fault. Like that's like the complex like beauty of the story. Like he was not he could have found another way to live that involved that allowed him to be with his family and
Right.
be there
What what
every day.
what I'm
Um,
saying is for the not being there on the specific day, something that he could not have known. If he'd known, I'm
mhm.
sure he would have left and been there. Now, as far as his decision to work in the fashion that he did and to be away from the home, yes, he's responsible for that. But um, yeah, there's no way he could have known that his son was going to lose his life that day or that morning. So
Yeah, yeah. Once he's in the yeah, no, he had no knowledge. Yeah, keep it real. When you lose a child, you will say things that you may not mean, and I pray I never know that. It makes sense, but yeah, I pray I never know that. But when you got to leave and go to other towns to make money, still had to raise his family, so he had to go where the work was.
right,
That is definitely the situation that he is in. And that's why that's why I'm saying like the things that I have like a frustration with within the film. It doesn't even have to do with the writing, and it's fine that it happened this way and it happens this way, all the time for a lot of people. Um, yeah, I don't, it's quite it's the discussion, right? Like, could he have found a way to support his family and been present with his family? Potentially,
probably he could have just been
potentially
a leathersmith.
he could have, he was obviously having a drinking problem. Um, you know, was it a multitude of things that was causing that drinking problem? Did it justify him leaving his family to self-satisfy? And does the end justify the means? The fact that he gets to tell this amazing story and becomes William Shakespeare and tells amazing stories that all of humanity can enjoy, does that justify him not being present with his family? There's a part of me that's
Yeah,
like a big part of me that says no. um
yeah. I mean, it came at a price.
mhm, mhm.
Um, came at a personal price for him. So yeah. Okay. What do you say?
Like
Keep
you'd
it
pointed
real.
out earlier, uh Agnes was the one that wanted him to go to London. I think that's beautiful that, she wanted the best
Supported
for him.
him.
She saw that there was, yeah, he was hurting. There was this was an opportunity for him to move beyond the pain and the struggle that he was going through. Um that said, there could have been a moment, and they did skip time quite a bit. Like a lot of time passes by. Maybe there was a moment after that where he had potentially could have potentially found himself, and like, she to be honest though, I mean, they did, yeah, this movie does such a fantastic job. Like, he wanted them to come out, but
Yeah, but
that was not going to happen because their daughter, Agnes didn't believe that their daughter would survive being in the city.
yeah, I was about to say
um
that.
mhm,
And she's a forest witch, and you can't take a forest witch away from the forest.
mhm. This is
But
true, yeah.
yeah, I mean, one of the daughters had a sensitive constitution, and London is known for its polluted air, so probably wasn't going to be good for her. I think that's part of the reason why I think he bought his house outside of London so that they could live there. Uh, yeah. So, hang on. He said in 2 hours and 5 minutes
This,
they got the message across. They skipped some lines, but they got the message. Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So they, they
hmm
didn't they didn't show the entire Shakespeare play. They just showed key parts of it, which would be relevant to Shakespeare himself, William, as well as his wife. So,
hmm yeah,
um, yeah, I was like, okay, again, this is Oscar bait. This is like, Steven Spielberg was also a producer on this movie. It's an
Amblin
Amblin.
Entertainment,
It's on
yeah,
Amblin Entertainment. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I think I mean, he's the same Steven Spielberg that made a remake of West Side Story. So I think there's part of him that wants, these kinds of films to be made. And so, yeah,
yeah.
I forget where I was going with that, but
hmm Keep It Real also said, well, when you have got an abusive father, sometimes that slows you up from becoming a man. So he had to leave in order to become his own man. Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, and that's the beautiful thing of one of the beautiful elements of the story, showing just the realities of life. Pain begets pain. It's we don't we're not told specifically, but one can assume because we find out that his mom and his dad lost three kids, that
hmm
that could have been exactly what messed up his father. um
Yeah.
there's more things wrong. I'm not gonna simplify it down to like you lose kids then you can start abusing kids. No, 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 not trying to simplify it down in that way.
Right.
But
But
the
that
the
scene when
grief,
the
the
mother-in-law,
pain
yeah,
begets more grief and pain, and yeah, it becomes
the
a
the
cycle.
the yeah, the scene where the mother-in-law is describing like the miscarriages and like the children dying of diseases. I think that went a long way to humanizing her and not just being someone who's antagonistic to
Yeah,
Agnes.
definitely.
Um,
Yeah, the mom was actually
so
one of my favorite characters.
yeah, she was a
Um,
good character.
yeah, like I 100% understood why she didn't like Agnes at the beginning, and you called her a witch, a wench. You think about the time period, you think about, yeah, how quickly this has
She was a
happened.
forest witch.
Yeah.
Forest witches have sketchy reputations, and she didn't
He
want
had
that in
gotten
her
her
family
pregnant,
initially.
yeah. There's civil,
Did she
social,
bewitch him with some spell? Like, I'd be asking all those questions if it was a
yeah,
forest
yeah,
witch.
yeah. But then you see her as time has gone by, present for Agnes in the way that the husband that Will is not. And yeah, just like the amount of love and compassion that the mother shows for Agnes and the family is incredible. Yeah, such a good character.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, uh, this movie, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie, and I found
Honestly, even
myself,
us describing like the whole film more or less, you're still gonna enjoy watching the movie. Like,
yeah, because like
hmm
there's the sensation of viewing it and seeing it play out. Like I could describe you to Godfather, but like wow, like you have to watch The Godfather. My description doesn't do it justice. This movie is really good. This is a very solid movie. I'm glad that I saw it. Um, this is not this is not a movie that I should say. This is not a case where the trailer for the movie really grabbed me. It looked like Oscar bait when I saw the trailer. I was like,
yeah,
it's a period piece. I don't really care about old England,
yeah,
as far as period pieces go. I think I'm sure it'll be interesting. I'm sure it'll be a decent movie, but like, I don't really feel the need to see it. But I'm glad that we did see it because
yeah,
it was
hmm
a movie. And like I'm always trying to like I'm trying my best to broaden my horizons and watch films that at first glance don't look like they're up my alley. And so yeah, I'm very glad that I saw this and I saw it in the theaters. This is the kind of movie that I want to support in the theaters going forward. And so Yeah, I mean, is there anything else you want to say? I feel like I've said pretty much everything I wanted to say about the film.
Um, maybe one second. Let me read. Keep it real. You guys know in those times, small town people talk about everybody. Everybody pretty much had to be tough because if you were soft, you weren't going to be able to last in those tough times.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was, it's always been a dog eat dog world, but especially way back when.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. I think the film won me over relatively quickly. Um, I mean, yeah, she Agnes is a witch, but uh, it's something like all the pieces of storytelling are visible. It does hit the beats like when the beats need to happen. When they're having a happy and amazing time as a family, like getting married and then having kids, and then having a family playing together, putting on plays for Agnes with the kids and everything. I just knew. I just knew. I was like, yes, oh
Yeah.
man, this is the happiest time in the film. I was like, I'm
Right.
watching this. I will enjoy this happy moment because it's not ever gonna happen again. And sure enough, that's how it goes. I mean, and that's that's fine. If that's how it goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
all I have to say is like it does follow the formula, but it executes the formula so well that like it's fine. And I thought it was really sweet when Agnes is having a moment in the forest, and I guess it's kind of like he's establishing a relationship with her, and she asks for him to tell him a story, and he winds up telling a story, and she's
Oh
incredibly
yeah, I
moved
thought that
by
was
it.
good.
So
I'm glad you brought that up. I really like that scene.
it's really good, and it also shows that like a big part of the establishment of the relationship and potentially the ongoings of the relationship is around him connecting to her through story. So it makes it so very poignant that him connecting to her and grieving with her the loss of their child is through story at the end of the film.
And also it's it's an overcoming of his kind of like interpersonal speech difficulties.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a speech impediment or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
but when he's around somebody that he cares, that he's attracted to, he gets nervous and he loses his faculties, and it
Mm-hmm.
becomes difficult for him to speak. So for
Yeah.
him to be able to perform on stage and then have a stage performance that is the epitome of English articulation, English language articulation,
Mm-hmm.
the high watermark to everybody, even nowadays, is Shakespeare, right?
Mm-hmm.
For him to be able to pull that feat off when he's someone who kind of struggled not knowing what to say in the heat of the moment, which is a very normal, common thing that people struggle with.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And it's
yeah,
good
for
that it
him to,
doesn't go ahead.
I was gonna say, for him to then become to eventually become the taskmaster and the one that's like correcting and chiding people for not reciting lines at a sufficient level is kind of interesting in that regard as well. Where
Yeah.
he interpersonally really can struggle with words because he gets nervous,
Mhm.
and that's part of why he defaulted to telling a story. Or when she
Exactly.
brought it up, he took
Yeah.
advantage of it because it's
Yeah.
almost like it's not his words. He can just kind of be in his element.
Mhm.
So the way that the film works that out and presents it to you, I think is very, very effective.
Yeah. And I don't think it necessarily erases that struggle that he has, but he learns to adapt to overcome it. And I think it's specifically that maybe he's not able to come up with a speech like or communicate on the spot like from nowhere, but the fact that he has time to collect his thoughts and put his thoughts together into
Right.
something, then he can convey that. So he finds what allows him to express himself. Hmm.
Right, and you saw that when they first got married, and he'd had too much to drink, and he couldn't put his words together to describe exactly what he was feeling and what he was struggling with, and he got frustrated with himself, and then he kind of got a little bit frustrated with Agnes, but not to the point of like becoming violent or belligerent. So
Yeah.
yeah, you kind of see the growth of his character as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
again, I think for all these things to come together pretty seamlessly in in film, I think that's you know it clears a high bar, you
Mhm.
know, and so yeah, I highly recommend people. I mean, you'll be hard pressed to find it in the theaters now. It's probably not there anymore.
But yeah,
Um,
like I was saying, I think it's coming to one of the streaming platforms March 6th or something.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Check it out on streaming. Enjoy it. It's a sit down movie. It's a rainy day movie. Uh, yeah, I recommend it. You
mhm.
can't watch it in the theater anymore at this point, as of the recording of this podcast, um, this live stream review. But yeah, as soon as you can watch it at home, I highly recommend it. Check it out.
Yeah. Same. Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Keep all
Well,
right.
this
Keep
has
it
been
real said
our.
yeah. Good luck. Have fun, don't die. He thought it was a good movie, pretty good message, and it was very funny. Enjoyed it. Sweet,
Yeah,
man.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
We're glad you enjoyed it. We did our review of that. Was it last week?
Yeah, no, he said he was gonna go check it out. And so yeah,
Oh,
he's coming back and letting us know that he saw it. Mm-hmm.
even better.
Sweet, man.
A
Yeah. I think that's the first
follow
time that that's
through.
happened. Yeah. Uh-huh. Thanks for coming back and sharing.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah,
Hmm.
we're glad you enjoyed the movie. We also enjoyed the movie, and yes, it appears that you enjoyed this movie as well. And so, yeah, I feel like we're probably in agreement on those things also. So yeah, thanks for updating us. Thanks for keeping us in the loop.
Yeah.
Uh, this has been our review of Hamnet.
Hmm.
I've been Austin,
I've been Josiah.
and we are the Super Cinema Bros. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be notified for all of our upcoming live stream movie reviews. I don't know which movie we're going to be reviewing next week, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we put
Does
out
it Hail Mary?
I
Is that the one that
I
comes
think
out?
let me see. I'm trying to remember if we did post up the next four. The next one is gonna be The Bride, which is coming out
Oh, the one
this
with Christian Bale.
yeah, coming out
And then
this weekend.
after that is that Hail Mary?
After that's Project Hail Mary. And then I wanna say
Ryan Gosling in space.
yeah. Yeah,
He's
yeah.
working on a brand new Star
The,
Wars
the,
movie, so I'm actually kind of excited to see how that's gonna play out.
yeah. The week
It's supposed
after
to be
Project
after.
Hail Mary, I don't know. There's a couple things. I think there's a new Zazie Beats film. What was it called? Let me see. Potentially we'll watch that or watch something else, but it's quite a bit down the pike, as they say, right? They Will Kill You. Looks like a new Zazie Beats movie coming out the end of March. Maybe we'll check that out. Or yeah, but beginning of April, the Super Mario Galaxy movie will come out, so we will be checking that out that week. But
Yes,
yeah,
we will be checking it out to my great chagrin and dismay. Like I'm I'm still frustrated about it because like they had a blueprint, they had a formula for teasing out these movies one at a time. And the fact that they're just going straight to the most recent Mario Brothers game, like it's such a squandering and a waste of like all that legacy world building that's already taken place that they could just access. Like we could have had a Super Mario Brothers 1 movie, Super Mario Brothers 2 movie in the dream world,
uh
Super
huh,
Mario
yeah,
Brothers 3 movie,
uh
bro.
huh,
Super Mario Brothers 3,
yeah.
where it's like it's a giant play, you know what I mean? It's a giant theater play. Oh my gosh, bro. It's such a lost opportunity. Super Mario
Yeah.
World,
Mm-hmm.
and then Super Mario 64, Sunshine, and then you get the Galaxy. And then you get like Super Smash Brothers. And then you get like Super Mario Kart. And then you get, like, oh yeah, Super
Mm-hmm.
Mario
Mm-hmm.
Sunshine. These are all standalone movies. I don't know why you're
It could have
mashing
been.
it all
It could have
together
been.
like this. Oh, they should have called. I mean,
Well,
even the movie posters would have, you have the video game covers. Like all this stuff was already done. They could have just modernized and just made it like it could have been so perfect. why they're doing it the way that they're doing it and just throwing everything at the wall and just like squandering all this source material is like difficult to watch.
Hmm.
I mean, I could get over like the voice acting choices,
Hmm.
which are kind of like, eh. I mean, do we need to hear Seth Rogen again for yet another voice? I'm good on Seth Rogen. I
It was
get
the
it. He's got
worst.
the raspy
Yeah.
voice. Like I get it. That's cool. Uh, uh, all right. I
DK,
mean,
I don't see DK like that, but yeah, that's okay. They
at
yeah,
all, at
not at all.
all. Chris Pratt as Mario. Like again, like I mean, they could have called. Like they could have got just gotten like it, it's
Yeah.
really too bad.
So as you can tell, we're gonna have a lot to say about that film when it comes out. I can't
Maybe,
understand a little bit. I can't understand
maybe.
some of not doing like one movie for each game. You know, the games do exist already, but there was a way to not just like combine like a million things together that are like disparate. Like it didn't need to be Mario Kart on top of Bowser's Fury on top of a couple of the more recent things. I just hope that this
I mean,
Galaxy movie is more focused because the Galaxy games are really good. Um,
I mean, Luigi's Mansion could be a movie unto itself, or at least half of a movie. You know what I'm saying?
mhm. Yeah.
Like there's just so many things that they could have done,
Mhm.
and the fact that they're just kind of it's
You know,
just
made him a lot of money, so yeah.
the,
Artistically, I
the,
100%
it
agree
was
with
going
you.
to make money regardless. They're just making in Despicable Me movies with the
Yeah.
Mario Brothers skin on it, and I'm
Mhm.
not a fan.
That's the biggest problem.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's too bad. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll watch it.
Mhm.
We'll let you know.
Well, about this, I think it's the same weekend. Keep It Real is letting us know that the Michael Jackson movie is coming out too.
I'm more
Uh,
excited to see that movie, to see it like how good
mm,
or even how bad it is.
yeah.
I think Antoine
Hmm.
Fuqua is directing that. It
Yeah,
has the
we will be.
endorsement of the Jackson family. Jermaine's son, Michael Jackson's nephew, is playing Michael. It's got some things going for it. So we'll see. We'll
I don't
see.
know. Last I heard,
I
what was
feel
it? Was his daughter Paris Jackson?
yeah.
Sounds like she's not down for it. She's not happy with it. But I don't know. Maybe yeah. Who knows? You're not gonna make
Yeah.
everybody happy. But yeah, very very curious about it myself. Hmm.
All right. So we'll keep you posted. We should be back next Monday, Lord willing.
So if you have a
Um,
chance this weekend to check out The Bride, definitely check it out, and we'll talk about it on Monday.
yeah, and come join us.
Hmm.
Until then, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Keep it real. It's real 2026. We really enjoyed your contribution to our
Always.
live stream review.
Hmm.
Merrick, good to see you, buddy. Always.
Hmm.
Shinobi 121. Thank you so much for your contributions.
Rocking it as our
Um,
best moderator ever.
yes, you are killing it.
Hmm.
You make miracles happen, and we're so thankful for you.
Hmm.
If I have I missed anybody, I don't think so. You
Hmm.
all have a wonderful evening. I think we're gonna sign out. May the Lord bless and keep you. May His light shine upon you. May He give you His peace. God bless you guys, and we'll catch you in the next live stream movie review.
Sweet.
This is
Yeah.
Super Cinema Bros signing off.
All right.
Peace. Good night.
Thanks, guys. Peace.